I'm in Charleston and my family's in Atlanta. I'm in Charleston and my family's in Atlanta.
This is a fast forward into the future, and it's a 10-minute version. It's going to be a 10-minute version of what just happened a few days ago, but when we recorded it a few days ago, he was super exhausted, and it took like 35 minutes to get the story across. So I was like, please, let's re-record it. 10-minute version. I promise you it will just be better. So
as the story goes, I'm trying to get back from DC to Atlanta. Daniel's taking me to Dulles Airport. We get there. I jump out. There's all kinds of backup and baggage. It's a long story. I won't get into all of it, but they send me around 4 different places. I'm a first-class passenger, and they keep sending me back and forth to the wrong places. And the last time, it was the first-class premier baggage area. They actually closed down on some of us. So we got sent back around to the regular area, put back in the back of the line. And instead of being put in the back of the line at that point, I was like, listen, somebody's got to help me. I'm first class passenger. You've sent me around. I can't go to the back of the line. I've already been to the front. Somebody help me. And so one of the baggage ladies really just put off and frustrated with me, sends me over to the end of the line. This is all important because it backs me up in the story. I get into the area where they have to do special deals or whatever to get people through. And by that time, I'm like, listen, I'm going to miss my flight if you guys don't hurry up. I've been here forever. They made a lot of mistakes. They closed the premiere on me, baggage area on me. And finally, they got me through, worked it out, and they said, you've got to run or you're not going to make your flight. I was like, I know. So I take off running through the airport. Here I am running through Dulles. There's these big, like, I guess, what do you call them, people movers that take you from the main area to terminals off the main area. I get on one of those. I mean, I run on it. I make it just in time. Driver comes on, and we take off. Everything is moving well for me to get there. Security, I got through it well. I just kept saying, first class passenger, please help me. I get all the way to my terminal area, and I hop off. Well, before I hop off, I see my gate is just 2 over from the terminal, from where the people mover connects. So I was like, all I gotta do is go over 2 gates. I'm good. I hop out, and the first thing I say to the first person that's with United at Sea is, help me, please. I'm first class passenger. I'm gonna miss my flight. They held my baggage up, please. And he's like, and I yelled out my gate. He's like, that way. He sends me that way. And a gate agent, before I even could try to get on the plane or give a boarding pass, is about 20, maybe 10, 20 yards away from me. 20 yards probably. Yells out, I'm right here, sir. I'm right here. I'll help you. We're waiting on you. And I said, great. I got my boarding pass here. And it's on my phone. She goes, no, we got you. I've already printed one out. She scans the printed boarding pass. All of the names and information are turned off because it's late in that flight. I go on at the gate.
And by the way, it's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it's like right at 10 o'clock at night. I go on at the gate. They seat me. And gate agent comes on. She says, here, you're going to need this for later. Hold on to this. It's your boarding pass. So she hands me the paper boarding pass. She goes, just put it in your pocket. She literally said, just put it in your pocket. And then later said, thank you. And I pulled it up, put it in my pocket directly. And everyone's around me going, it's okay, it's okay. I'm trying to find somewhere for my bag. And they're like, you made it, you made it. All the first class passengers are really nice. I sit down, and the gate agent goes off. The stewardess is already through all of her announcements, so I don't hear anything. They're closing up. Everybody belts up. We taxi out. We take off. We get in the air. And the pilot comes on and says, we've just reached our cruising altitude. It's a lovely night here in Washington, D.C. It'll take 48 minutes for us to get through our flight to get to the great city of Charleston, South Carolina. And I went, Charleston? Charleston? I'm going to Atlanta. So I realized that I'm on a flight for Charleston. I thought maybe they rerouted me. So the first thing I did is I grabbed my cell phone. I turned it back on, which you're not supposed to do. And I got cell coverage while I could. I texted Lori and said, do not come to the Atlanta airport. I will not be at Hartsfield. And then I texted Daniel. She's texting me and saying, what are you talking about? Of course you'll be there. Were you picking? I'm like, no, I'm not picking. This is not a joke. I text Daniel. I'm like, you've got to tell Lori not to go to the airport. I'm on the wrong flight.
I was going to go anyways. I knew he was mistaken.
At that point I said, I think I've been rerouted. And he's like, no, you're going to Atlanta. I said, I am not going to Atlanta. I assure you, I am going to Charleston, South Carolina. They just said so. And he's like, you're just stressed. I was like, no, nobody believes me. And then cell coverage is gone. So I turned my phone off, and I'm waiting for them to enable the in-flight Wi-Fi. As I'm waiting on it, I pull my boarding pass out to look at it, and when I pull it out, which I still have, I realize, this is so funny, that I am not me. So this boarding pass is not for Dustin Hedrick. It's for another guy, and his name is Carl Eugene Evans. So Carl, I'm sorry out there. I got your flight. True story. Right there's the boarding pass. Carl Eugene Evans, right there. We had the same flight time, the same boarding time. We had
the same
type plane, the same carrier, and the same seat assignments in first class.
Just one gate apart.
One gate apart. And the gate agent, before my gate, had grabbed me at gate D14, and I needed to go to gate D15. All of a sudden I realized, oh my goodness, I'm going to Charleston. So I sit there for a minute. Everybody, Lori and everybody's real upset with me because they're trying to figure out what just happened. They're on the ground. I get in-flight Wi-Fi. I'm able to communicate back. I'm like, listen, I really am going to Charleston. They've come to the realization at this point. They're like, you've got to do something. I was like, listen, I will do everything I can. I just don't know what to do right now. I'm trying to figure it out. So we're texting this all back and forth. So everybody's okay at this point. What I don't know is at this point, I've told Daniel to fix it with my kids who I'm breaking a promise with. I didn't make it home immediately like I said I would. And he gets on the line with Anna, or Anna calls him. And they have this whole side story that happens. And Lori, you have to tell that part.
So Anna calls Uncle Jihoon on, do I have to say Daniel?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Jihoon Daniel, same thing. So Anna calls Uncle Jihoon, crying, sobbing, FaceTime. It's like 10:30, almost 11 at this point. And he, calms her down and real fatherly, and, he's not breaking his promise. He's trying his best. And the only reason why this is happening is something, God is arranging something, and we don't know what it is. But Annabeth, I cannot wait to find out what the story is and why God arranged all this. While they're FaceTiming, I'm texting Dustin, and I'm saying, like, you better tell that person next to you about Jesus, and you better get him saved. And Dustin texts back, he's snoring, and I said, wake him up. This is not going to be for nothing. This will be for a reason. And as soon as Annabeth and Daniel hung up, maybe 20 minutes, maybe they were on for like 20 minutes, he's in Virginia, close to DC, 11 o'clock at night, crazy, on the side of the road with his lights on so Anna could see him, and this car pulls up on the far right lane and blocks him in, frantically doing hand motions, and Jihoon's like, this is the end of my life. Here this guy is, is he gonna hurt me? What's going on? So they roll down the window to find out the guy lives in Maryland, but his daughter was just in a really bad car accident, and she was transferred to a hospital in Virginia. It's like 11 o'clock at night. He doesn't know where he's going, and he knows he's about to run out of gas, has no money, has no way of getting the gas, even if he can find the gas station. And Daniel never carries cash, but then instantly the Holy Spirit reminded him 12 hours earlier they had missed their lunch that they were going to get. So he said, at least let's go to a gas station and get chips and a drink or something. While he was there with his business card, he accidentally pushed cash back and had a discussion with the cashier. I need I can't do cash back. It's a business card, you know, cancel the transaction. He said, I can't cancel the transaction. You asked for cash back. How much do you want? He's like, I don't want any. He's like, well, you have to take it. So he said, fine, $20. And he was really frustrated that that had happened. But then 12 hours later, here he is on the side of the road with this guy crying, frantically needing money. And so Danielle said, I will give you the $20, and I know that you're in a time crunch, but we have to stop. Please let me pray for your daughter. And so they have this amazing connection, and, you know, I promise you I'll pay you back. And he's like, no, you know, just go, be blessed, and your daughter's healed in Jesus' name. So that was really cool. And that was all happening while he was in the middle of the air.
So I'm still in the air, and I'm thinking, what do I do? How do I communicate this? No one's going to believe me, and they might think I'm crazy. Making claims like this can sound like a bad thing, like terrorist activity. So I'm thinking through all this. I'm going, oh my goodness. I mean, I watched enough CSI and all that kind of stuff to know, and Fringe and whatever. I'm not on the ship's manifest. I'm going to freak everyone out. This is going to be insane. So I take a deep breath. I'm praying. I'm like, okay, what do I do? I get a hold of the first class stewardess, and she comes over, and I say to her, I got to tell you something. You're not going to want to believe it, but you have to believe me. This is the truth. I can't make this stuff up. And she says, okay. And she's looking at me real funny. And I said, okay, so, and I hand her my license and this specific Carl Eugene Evans's boarding pass. And I said, this is my boarding pass, but it's not me. And this is me, and I point at my driver's license, and I'm supposed to be on another flight. And she goes, Mr. Evans, where did you get this? And I said, I'm not Mr. Evans. Mr. Evans missed his flight. I'm Mr. Hedrick. My name is Dustin Carl Lee Smith Hedrick. Right there, see it? And I said, you can't miss, it's right there. And she goes, yeah, but where did you get this? And I said, I'm this is not fake. This is my real Maryland driver's license, and that is the wrong boarding pass. I'm supposed to be going to Atlanta. And she goes, and I said, look at the picture. And she goes, oh, just like that. And she goes, this can't happen. And I said, it did. She goes, what are we going to do? I said, you're going to tell me. That's my question. And so she goes, I don't know what to do. I don't know. We have to figure this out. I said, yes, can you call someone? And I mean, I'm trying to be, Lori knows me, and she can tell you that I'm telling the truth. I dial down in the middle of these situations. I dial down, everyone else dials up. Even though I'm hyper all the time, I'm not hyper in a situation. And I looked at her and said, you're gonna call someone. Can you call someone and tell them I'm coming? Because it's not me, it's me. And she's like, I'll call the pilots. And I said, sounds good. I hear her get on the phone.
Because you're on the first row.
I'm front row seats for this little tragedy, Greek tragedy or whatever. And she's like right there, good 7 feet away from me on the phone. And she goes, hi, yes, so this is so, yes, so we have a special. We have what? And I hear on the other side of the line, the pilots are ticked. They're like, we have a what? We have a special on my flight from Washington, D.C. This can't happen. And they're, when I heard their voices, I realized the magnitude of what was going on around me. And I thought, oh man, this really is terrifying for folks. And she looks over and she goes, it's okay. He seems to be a nice man. And I was like, you know. So anyways, we hit the ground. As we hit the ground, they send people on. So people come on, the pilots open up, and they hold everyone on the flight. Everyone's starting to scramble and wonder why we're stuck. And they're talking, they're yelling about special this, special that. People start talking, and then some of the people start yelling. People are wanting off, and I turn around and literally address the crowd and say, guys, it's because of me. I'm supposed to be in Atlanta, and they sent me to Charleston. And I was like, this is not my boarding pass. I'm on the wrong ship. I'm not on the ship manifest. So they're trying to work it out. I'm special. And I turned around like that, and everyone got quiet. I heard whispers. And then the guy beside me goes, are you serious? I was like, dead serious. I said, I'm not making this up. He's like, that's insane. So everyone got real nice. They get me off, and they're like, you have got to get out of the terminal area now. You can't be here. You're not supposed to be in this area at all. This is not yours. You have to leave. You got to get out the security area. So I get out of the security area as fast as I can to this new, the baggage area where there's a special security booth. And those folks start working with me to get through the rest of the night. So anyways, I get there and they work things out. I won't name the guy's name, but the guy who was there was amazing. He did a great job. He gets me everything done, and I'm starting to pray through what I need to do next. I call Lori, and then I get myself situated. And what I'm about to tell you in the next 30 or so minutes, there's so many happenings with so many people, I can't even remember them all, but I'm going to tell you the top ones. It's miraculous, and it's a God thing. So I turn around, as I finish this up, they hand me all kinds of vouchers and special things for flight and food and all kinds of stuff so I can get taken care of. They're just vouchers to use for my hotel. Everything's paid for, from hotel to food to whatever. They just want to get me out of there, get me in a hotel, get me back, get me fed, and get me on a flight to Atlanta. Now, everyone that's heard the rest of the part of this story has said this should be a movie, so that's this video. I tried to take video clips in between, but you can't video stuff as it happens because it's too personal. But here's what happened. And again, I'm just hitting the top ones. There are people in between I can't remember. I pray for the guy who helped me with security and got me set up. I just turned around and said, to him, and this is the line I used for the rest of the night. I said, you just said that this is impossible, that this never happens, which I heard across the whole flight and the whole time. Everyone said, this never happens. We're so sorry. This is impossible. This never happens. And I said, if that's the case and this is truly impossible, then only one person could have done it, and that's the God of the impossible. So I'm here for a reason. And if I'm here for a reason, it must be to pray for you. What can I pray for you? And the first guy turns and he's like, seriously? I said, yeah. He goes, man, just pray for my life, my family. I said, I'm on it. I pray for him. There's another interaction with another agent. I can't remember. I remember her face. I remember talking to her. But anyways, I leave there and I go out to catch my shuttle to the hotel. It's after midnight now, and the airport's officially closed, I guess, or 1 in the morning, whatever time they close. And the cleaning crew has been working the whole time. I've seen them come and go. And I go outside and immediately I see one of the cleaning crew, who I think is cleaning crew, turns out to be the guy who owns the cleaning company, loading up the supplies in his Cadillac Escalade. And he's having a hard time with the door, and I yell over, can I get that for you? And as I go over and get the door, I just knew he's one too. So I open the door, and he puts his stuff in, and as he puts his stuff in, I said, I'm going to tell you a story real quick. It's going to sound crazy, but before I do that, I just need you to know I might be here for you. God may have sent me for you. Can I pray for you? And he goes, pray for me. I said, yes, let me tell you the story. So I told him a 5-minute version of what I just told you. And then I showed him the vouchers like this and said, here's all my vouchers. And I just did like that, like display of cards. And he goes, oh my goodness, that never happens. I said, right. They say it's impossible. Therefore, it must be God who sent me. He's the only one who can do the impossible. Is there something I need to pray for you? Because I might be sent here to Charleston for you. And he goes, yes, it's me. And I said, okay. He said, I've been held overtime and my folks didn't even show up, and I'm here 2 hours past when I'm supposed to be here, and I don't even know what to do. He goes, my company has this issue and that issue, whatever. And he's really kind of distraught and worn out and stuff. And I'm like, man, do you realize that we wouldn't have even met if your folks had shown up on time? What Satan meant for evil, God meant for your good. We met at this exact time because God set it up. He says that he's really been out of church and not doing the God stuff. And I'm like, well, let's pray. And he's just like, taken back. When I get done praying, God has encountered this guy, and he's like, oh my God, God did this. And I'm like, yeah, he did. Jesus wants your heart. Man, he loves you. And he goes, oh my God, he's hugging me. He's like, man, I needed this. This is God. He has this whole encounter. And I'm just sitting here going, that just happened. Okay, maybe it was him. He goes, it was me. It was for me, man. That's why God sent you. I was like, awesome. Go Jesus. He drives off. He's waving at me. Thank you so much, man. You just made my night. And he's yelling out the window. I'm trying to video it. As I'm trying to video it, I hear somebody yell at me, and I just stop the video, put it in my pocket, and turn, and it's the security guard who's over like 6 lanes, I guess it would be, with the divider in the middle where the pickup is outside the baggage area. And she's over at her kind of booth area, I guess it is, where she stays for security. And she yells across, sir, are you supposed to be here? We're not going to loiter around here. Do you have a ride coming? We need to get you moving. What's your story? And I said, that's an interesting thing. And I hold up my vouchers like this. I said, not making this up. And I told her a 5-minute version of the story. As I'm telling her, she's slowly coming across all the way over to me. She's standing there looking at me. And I said, So God has done this, and I know it's impossible, and only God would do the impossible. Maybe he sent me here just to pray for you. I'm here to pray for folks. He sent me. What can I pray for? She looks at me and goes, it's me. It's me. She goes, my dad just got sent to hospice 2 days ago, and my grandmother, his mom, just had a stroke today, and I don't know what to do with myself. I'm here. I'm stuck. I have no one to talk to. I don't even know what to do. And I said, what's your name? She tells me her name. It's Tiffany. I still remember. And I'm like, can I pray for you right now? She goes, yeah, I pray for her dad, her grandmother. We pray all out. God encounters her. She's like blown away. God, like tears, the whole thing. And I'm just like, man, go Jesus. And she's like, God is so good. She's half praising the Lord. She's just, God encouraged her heart so much. She's like, it was for me. God sent you for me. I can't believe he did this. I said, do you realize how important you are to him for him to take time out of his day to send somebody like me, like this, to come and pray for you? And she's like, oh my God. I said that line the rest of the night. As we look up, she goes, that's your ride. He came right now. God's timing is perfect. Isn't that crazy? It's like, yeah. So I hop on my shuttle. And instead of getting in the back with my stuff, I put my stuff in at the back and I turn in the front and say to the driver, can I hop up front with you? He's like, sure. So I shut the door and I sit up front. I said, hey, what's your name? He goes, Tree. I said, Tree, it's nice to meet you. So here's the deal. Gave him the 5-minute version of the story. Said I'm here for him. You know, I'm here because the Lord sent me to pray for folks. Show him my vouchers. He says, I don't know. I don't really do the God thing. I don't know what you pray for. I said, come on, just give me something. Anything to pray for. So he gives me a list. I pray for the list. He's encouraged. He goes, man, thank you. I needed that. Da, da, da. But still, you know, I knew he didn't get it. So I was just praying, man, get him. So we trade information because he's moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm like, man, you got to come visit me when you come up when God works things out for you, because he gave me a specific list of things that God's working out. I'm still praying for Tree. We get off there. I walk into the hotel. I walk into the hotel and I look in the welcome area. There's the welcome person who's checking folks in, and then there's folks still at the bar. I go walking in, and I mean, I'm thinking, man, people are up late around here partying. This is crazy. But I walk straight up. I'm at the welcome area, and I said, hi, I'm the guy the airline sent. She goes, you're the guy, you're the special. I heard all about your story. And I said, great, that makes this easier. So here's the deal. That's impossible. No one's ever heard of it happening. Everyone says it never happens. You know, and she actually had just said that. She's like, it never happens. I was like, yeah. And I said, so if that's the case, then only the God of the impossible could send me. So he just sent me. So I'm here to pray for you. What can I pray for you? He sent me to pray for you. And she goes, oh, hang on. That's my boss over there. Come over here. You've got to hear this. And so boss comes over and is standing there. And she says, tell her what you just told me. And I said, yes, ma'am. So here's the deal. Oh, no, she goes, remember, this is the guy from the airport. And she's like, oh, yeah, I know. I said, okay, that makes it easy. You know the story? Here's the deal. I've come to pray for you. He sent me here to pray for you. What can I pray for? She goes, oh, you can pray for whatever you want. I'm not going to say anything. I said, my favorite kind. So I start praying for a list of things I can't know. It's all stuff that the Lord's putting in my heart and my mind. It doesn't even make sense to me. She's blown away. She's like, and I'm like, go, Jesus. I get done, and she's like this. She's like, oh. And the lady, the welcome lady goes, I told you. That's confirmation of the Lord. That's exactly what I told you. That's the Lord Jesus. You see what I'm saying? She says, I know it's God. I believe. And the whole like bar area, everybody's turning to look, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And God just gets a hold of them, and they're just shouting and praising. They turn around, they get me checked in, they take care of me. I literally get in the room, take a shower, put my same clothes back on, turn everything around, have 2 hours to get back out for my next flight. I get back out the door, come back down, and the lady at the welcome area says, I need to tell you what you've done, what God's done through you. She goes, you have got to keep doing this. And I was like, catch your own flights? She's like, no. Anywhere God sends you, it's an adventure, and he sent you there on purpose. He sent you to Charleston on purpose because we needed you. We needed God to use you, and you got to keep doing this because God used you greatly. She goes, you have no idea who you've affected in the few hours that you've been sent to Charleston, South Carolina. She said, it's not just my boss and the shuttle person and me and just the folks being around like that. She goes, I even got calls from the lady who's the security guard wanting to know your name because she knew our hotel, and she asked, and she told me the whole story. She's testifying about what you had done, even coming out of the airport. She goes, you have affected people's lives. She goes, it's awesome. I just want to praise Jesus for him using you and him doing this kind of thing still. And I'm like, man, you just made my life. So we sit there and testify. She said, I'm going to get your shuttle for you. We talked for a while about her daughter who's doing amazing stuff for Jesus, and I just pray for her, bless them. Shuttle guy comes back out and looks at me, and I'm like, Tree, it's you. He goes, yeah, it's me. And he goes, it's you. I said, yeah, you get to drive me back. Thank you. And he's like, oh, no problem. We get in the shuttle. Trey turns, looks at me, and he's like, we're sitting here, and he goes, heard all the stories. And I said, you did? He goes, I believe. I said, yeah, Jesus. And you guys, that's the rest of the time. It's just I blessed people as I went, and I had to tell the story over and over as I went through because no one believed me when I went through, and everyone knew me at the airport when I went through as the guy who came from Washington D.C. to the wrong airport. It was a hoot. Security knew me. It was wild, but that was the brunt of it. God just used that time to bless the socks off people, and I keep thinking, we've talked about this, what's the after effect? I wonder how long these people kept talking about the story and how many people they told. Because every single person I talked to said to me when I was done, every single one I prayed for said, God sent you here for me. And that is amazing that every single one of those, right after one right after the other, was God doing it. Anyway, that's it. Crazy.
But we're happy to have you home.
Yeah, I'm happy to be home. I'm tired. So I'm in Charleston. See the A? That's Atlanta. I was supposed to be in Atlanta. They're gonna try to figure out what to do, but they rushed me on a plane, gave me a boarding pass for another person. As crazy as it sounds, set me down, got me on. We have long names. See, this is not me right here. This is Evans, Charles, Carl, Eugene. Similar gates, similar information, but not me. They put me on the wrong flight. My bags are in Atlanta. I'm in Charleston. I'm working through this right now. Everyone says it's not possible, but I just flew to the wrong airport on somebody else's ticket on United. Dulles, Washington, D.C. area, you guys, to Charleston, South Carolina, not Atlanta. I'll show you the difference in my tickets and boarding passes, but they really, like, they came out at the gate, ushered me on, got me seated. I missed the announcements. In flight, they announced we're headed to Charleston. I'm looking at everything going, you're kidding me. And we're in the air, what am I gonna do, you know? So we start working through it in the air. I'm here now, they're gonna try to figure out what to do next. Awesome. So these guys are amazing. They said they never seen anything like this happen, and they're totally taking care of everything. So right now I'm in Charleston Airport. I'm waiting at the baggage claim customer pickup area, and I've got my ticket from United to fly on Delta tomorrow, and all my information about my baggage claim from my bag that was sent back to DC that they're sending actually to Lori's parents' house. They're going to actually ship it directly there, and I'm going to get to wait on it, pick it up there, go out the next day, and come back to North Carolina. I'm going to fly out in the morning at 6:05 and land at 7:19 in Atlanta. They're paying for my hotel, my food, my shuttle, even my flight and everything else. They're taking care of everything. They're amazing. I mean, these guys have been amazing, but at the same time, I think they're blown away that somebody was able to fly to the wrong city on the wrong ticket, and so they're talking to me about that, and we'll see how that goes. So knowing that I got to be here for a reason, I'm already starting to minister to folks. I grabbed a hold of a guy named Andrew in there and just encouraged him. Another guy, Quentin, here. He was here late because his crew didn't show up, and the Lord just told me, go talk to him. I go talk to him. He's so encouraged because I just tell him, man, I'm here for you, I guess. And I just said, what can I pray for you? I'm going to bless you. He's a believer. He needed encouragement. I threw down, blessed him. It's just awesome. So what's next? So I'm at Aloft, the hotel where I'm staying. I have officially prayed for Andrew, for him just to be blessed. Tiffany, for her grandmother who had a stroke, and her dad who's going to hospice, and for their healing. She was a parking attendant. She came talk to me because she was surprised I was there. Then I prayed for the driver of the car who drove me over. His name is Trey. Trey's awesome. He's moving to Charlotte. So I prayed for him for blessings. Just everything to fall in place. I get inside and the folks here are just blown away at the story, and I keep telling everybody, I'm here for a reason. I don't know why. I'm just here to bless. So what can I pray for you? God sent me for you. And so I officially prayed for the folks downstairs, and that's Talisha, I think, and I didn't catch the other lady's name. I think it's Ann, but anyways, I gotta go back and find out. It's here in the morning. Anyways, I prayed for them, and every single one has said, I think you were sent here for me. And I've looked at him and said, Jesus sent me so you know he cares. I'm here for a reason. Wow, that's now 6, I think. 6. There's more. So officially, United has put me up in a hotel at Aloft here in Charleston. I don't have any pajamas, so that's interesting. I'm glad to be here and be where I can crash. They're gonna hold a shuttle for me at 5 in the morning. I have an amazing room, and my Atlanta ticket didn't get used, so they sent my bags back and all that good stuff. No one can believe it, so everyone is just taking care of me because I unofficially hacked the system without trying. It was their doing though, because they're the ones that rushed me around and pushed me on and everything and put me at the wrong gate. But hey, I'm thankful for the kindness everyone's shown me. Anyway, it's pretty crazy. I'm here in Charleston, and they, you know, the gentleman that fixed everything got me all the amenities. They're taking care of me, and I'm gonna get on a flight tomorrow and go to Atlanta. And I'm still dealing with this stuff. This is just aggravated and crazy. So I'm probably going to end up going to some kind of emergency, I don't even know, urgent care. And then I'll probably end up dealing with some kind of steroid and antibiotic or whatever. I'm dealing with that centipede attack. I'm dealing with no sleep for a month. I'm dealing with back and forth to DC, and I just want to get to my family and my newly fixed van that has newly fixed air conditioning. I want to drive us all home and go to my new house and unpack boxes so I can get back to life. That's what's happening. So that's the story. That's 10 minutes of your life you'll never get back. But this happened. It's real. I'm in Charleston, not Atlanta. 4:30 in the morning. I'm heading over because they said that my seat has to be assigned at the gate. That changed in the middle of the night, so that's interesting. Hopefully that doesn't mean anything bad. But I'm here at Charleston Airport. This whole thing has really happened. 4:30 in the morning, 4:44. And I'm getting ready to fly to Atlanta on this amazing journey. So crazy. I got to pray for Trey again. Miss Connie, who is at the registration welcome desk at the hotel at Aloft. I got to pray for her and encourage her, and she encouraged me back. She's cool. Great stories. Charleston is the coolest airport. I love this airport. It's awesome. It's like Richard Basin. Everything's amazing. I love this. Little seats. It's cool. You hook this up right here. This is awesome. Love it. Got my ticket. I'm in. Coming home, family. Flying Delta, Charleston to Atlanta, and I will be home soon, Lord willing. I got something for the girls and Malachi. Get in there. You'll have to see it in a minute. Eat my free breakfast I got. Thank you to the airline for taking care of that. Getting ready for my free flight. Thankful for my free miles. Gonna be ready to get home. It's coming. Now I'm on the right flight. Finally. Charleston to Atlanta. Here we go. There's Atlanta in the morning.
Okay, you can't see us, but it's 5:55 a.m. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Where are we going?
To the airport to pick up Poppy.
Yay! And Malachi has his night-night.
I made it. I'm in Atlanta. Through all of that insanity. So with that said, as crazy as it sounds, I have never been so happy to be at Hartsfield Airport. as insane as it is in the mornings. And I am done with this crazy trip. I'm gonna grab my family, the van, and get back to North Carolina soon.
When you see them, start running. Go! If you see them, go!
Oh man, I'm here. I got here. Don't take it. Come on, let's go this way. Let's go this way. You're supposed to stay back here, okay? Come on, buddy. Tell me about her backstory, and she said that last night, when everything happened, that she took time before everything worked out for me. And what was it you prayed for me?
I prayed that you would have a place to eat, sleep, and stay. And I might have prayed that you would have had a flight. I don't exactly remember that.
Good job. What were your thoughts on it? What happened with you?
She didn't know.
Were you asleep?
No.
She was watching TV.
She was watching cable at midnight.
What? This is all happening at midnight.
And then I was like, hey, Lydia, Papa's not gonna come home till tomorrow, okay? She goes, what? Okay. We have popcorn?
That's awesome.
We have an Olympic event. Synchronized snoring.
We just got here.
Come all the way to this side of town tomorrow?
We just got here and the suitcase is here. So it made a long trip. This suitcase has been through it all, and actually it looks like it's lost most of its pink polka dots in the move. Thankfully some are on the side still, but boy, it took them off the front. I'm not sure what it's been through, but it has traveled from DC to Atlanta, Atlanta to DC. I went to Charleston, then it came back here to Atlanta. Now they drove it over the house, but it's here. Got it. Hopefully my Bible's still in there. I think your video is suspect.
He thinks that I wanted to do a video just so I can get a hug?
Fuzzy. No, I think your video is fuzzy.
Oh.
But anyways,
well, hold on.
That's from the cracked screen. Oh, yuck, you just licked that.
I didn't. It was a fake
anyways. All right, so updates real quick. I've slept most of the day. We ate El Torero, which was great.
It's so bad, I'm so full.
Yep. My suitcase just made it, which I just did a video on that a second ago. So it's traveled. And then we just found out we've got a contract on the house.
I think
again. It doesn't matter. It's supposed to be. Back up here. Gotta make this quick. It's supposed to be like the 6th or whatever because we had offers, but I think it's like the 4th official because 4th signed, 2 others said they weren't, and it just ended up going to contract.
So we almost aren't excited, but
we don't know. I mean, it's funny. Here we go again. We have a closing date, contract. They're doing the rigmarole. We've been through all this before. We don't know, and we're not excited. We're just, if God does it, He does it. If He doesn't, He doesn't. We're just here to ride out this trip, just like I've rode out the trip to Charleston and back. So. And
sorry, Uncle Jihoon, if you're watching. Yeah. You don't get Dustin for a long time.
Yeah. That's what I'm very aware of. Is that. Yeah. So, anyways, all right. Well, remote support it is for a while.
Family second.
Family second. Jesus first. There's an owl. He is right there. I don't know if you guys can see him. He's turning his little body and twiddling his wings. Good Lord, he's beautiful, big guy. There he goes. Wow.